Move your asses faster! This mine's not gonna dig itself, you worthless maggots! I trust you've already slipped us your extra ore quota for the month. It'd be a real shame if anything, happened to your highness, and we poor guards weren't around to show up in time.
I can hardly believe this. I've already paid every last coin. Twice over, in fact. And you have the nerve. I mean, sir, if I weren't subjected to daily beatings, and yet somehow still eating better than those filthy meat bugs, I might have gathered more ore by now. Just grant me more time, if you can keep up.
Guess I'll have to pester the Baron himself. Talk about your precious little reformation policies, human rights and whatnot. Maybe we'll even graciously give you a day off.
Really? I would appreciate that. A proper shower wouldn't hurt either, you know.
Boys, rough him up!
Ugh, not the face.
Grumley, your shift's up. Time to take over. I'm out for a break. Falandir! What a grand meeting, eh? Looking sharp as ever.
Grumley? You are the shadow now.
Well, us dwarfs are masters of all, so the chance for promotion was right there in front of me. Folks here value all more than their own lives, so I reckon we've got something in common after all.
So, I suppose now you'll try to beat me up and snatch my ore, won't you?
Gladly, but later. Vlademar sent me. I's found a solution for that blasted portal problem.
This swamp weed is the real deal. I can almost see the solution to our problem. If only those weird, ancient god voices in my head would chill, things would be even better.
I told ya! The solution's in the swamp weed, yeah! Good stuff. Real good stuff.
Oi! Oi! You two muppets! Yes, dare finish that entire bag without saving a share for a working dwarf.
What is this travesty? Let me guess. Your grand escape plan is to smoke swamp weed until some miracle happens?
Falandir? I was thinking you were already dead. I mean, you look great. New makeup. Anyway, I was thinking we should switch to the review, after which I'll explain the full genius of our plan. Well, what is there to say of the graphics, The picture is genuinely impressive. Water that actually behaves as water, not some enchanted blue floor waiting to disappoint you. Landscapes with proper depth and scale. Weather effects that make you feel the damp in your very robes. Alkimia Interactive has done exceptional work, in my professional estimation. They have crafted a world that pulls you in completely. You do not merely observe the colony, you inhabit it. The immersion is total. For a remake of a cult classic, that is no small magic.
I concur. And regarding the design, yes, those of us who suffered through the original will recognize the locations. The old camp, the mines, the entire wretched geography of our imprisonment. All rebuilt and, dare I say, improved.
Oi, I'll tell you what I was worried about. The armor. When I heard remake, I feared they'd dress us up like some prancing elf in shiny nonsense that couldn't stop a sneeze. But they didn't. The armor looks proper and functional, like it could actually take a beating from a convict's shiv without falling to pieces. Not too fancy, not covered in pointless spikes and magic glitter. Honestly, it's better than most modern games, where everyone runs about looking like they're wearing decorative tinfoil. This deserves praise. Real craftsmanship.
Good to say for those never played old Gothic. Faction look is very special, yes. And in Remake, it got even better. More shiny bits. Some bits from Gothic 2 sneaked in too. Because of that, factions feel real different, real special. Heh. World feels all alive, it does. Then you go outside. Every place got its own look and nasty monsters. Makes you feel real stuck in it, yes. But now, time for bad stuff.
Right then, I'll start. Performance. Feels lacking. Problem is, they went with Unreal Engine 5. Fancy choice, lots of bells and whistles. But even when everything looks smooth as butter, you're still getting frame drops and textures popping in like they're late to their own funeral.
Naturally, they will attempt to remedy these performance shortcomings through patches. However, this process requires time, and for certain individuals, the damage will already be done. But if it is Unreal Engine 5, can it really be done? We will see.
Ah, well, that's all for the grim tidings of the graphics. The clever studio wizards are zapping bugs faster than a fireball. Let's switch to gameplay. In my humble, magical opinion, the gameplay is truly marvelous. You begin as a lowly nobody, getting smacked around by every ruffian in the camps. At first, I swear, even a goblin could best you. I've lost count of how many times I've been walloped and had my ore pilfered. Truly, it weaves a spell of immersion most powerful.
Right, here's the thing about starting out. This game will proper punish you. You watch your mouth with every character you meet. Because unlike those modern adventures, where everyone's your best mate, waiting to hand you a quest, these folk here will gut you soon as look at you sideways. You smile too much? Stabbed. You look at someone's ore funny? Stabbed. You exist in a manner they find personally offensive? Oh, you better believe that's a stabbing.
I like what the pinnacle of gameplay lies in the mastery of skill points and their distribution. To elevate your strength, or acquire a unique talent like pickpocketing, one requires not only skill points, but also a trainer. One must seek them out, of course. Basic trainers offer mere rudiments, while the truly advanced can only be found in select camps. So, choose wisely, for only the discerning truly excel.
And the smashy fightin'. Those clever dev folk really listened to the people and gave them the same fightin' like in the old days, but with some shiny new tricks. The better you get at bashing heads, the crazier combos you can pull, like a goblin dance of doom.
Talking about improvements, it ain't just the fighting, no sir. Alkimia Interactive went and fixed some old game tricks and quests. Like, you can grab your first basic magical runes before even joining the mages. And get this, you can have both water and flame mages by Chapter 3. Don't even get me started on the mount they added. Aye, now you can ride to other camps instead of tramping like a fool every 5 minutes. Good for the knees, that is. And the big old cherry on top is them armor improvements. I just can't figure how we ever survived without them before. Feels like fighting with a wet rag, it does.
I believe we can all agree that this game is a true masterpiece. It offers countless paths to explore your creativity. Wish to become a stealthy thief wielding a bow? The path is open. Desire the arcane power of a mage? Step forth without hesitation. Or perhaps you prefer the raw strength of a brawler, hurling foes with an axe. That too is your choice. But heed this warning, there is no chance to respec. Tread carefully, for in trying to be all, you may end up as none. A little of everything, yet master of nothing.
All right, listen up. I'll start with the bad stuff, and magic's first on the list. It's in a weird spot, that one. At the start, you're like a blazing fire, burning through everything in your way. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. Most of the high-level magic is pretty useless. It's slow, it eats up your energy, and doesn't hit hard enough. Sure, every creature's got their own weak spots, so you gotta switch between different kinds of magic. But in the end, you always end up back at the same boring starting runes.
Indeed. And as you approach the end of the game, you become quite unstoppable. I myself wore nothing but the simplest, low-tier armor. Because, honestly, when one possesses the finesse of a dodge skill, such trivial matters scarcely affect you.
For me, the saddest thing was finding out you can't upgrade your robes. So you just have to go in order. Flame robes, then water robes, and finally, necromancer robes. But, truth be told, I still stick with the flame robe, because I like the look of it better.
It is important to mention that there exist some imperfections, bugs, primarily within the side quests. However, the developers are swift in their remedies, so I deem it of little consequence to dwell upon.
There is, of course, one glaring flaw that must be noted: the economy. The developers, in their attempt to add complexity and variety, made every camp's resource demands differ by region. A noble idea, yet it falls flat in execution. Something is clearly amiss, for everything sells at abysmally low prices, especially the skins and teeth you gather. And the more you sell, the cheaper they become. Some claws, I swear, we were practically giving away for free.
Thus concludes the discourse on the gameplay's shortcomings. As I have mentioned, the developers are most diligent in their updates, ensuring these issues shall not persist long. Now, let us turn our attention to the tale, the story that awaits.
I shall begin by stating that the story and quests are quite engaging. Those unacquainted with Gothic will find themselves pleasantly surprised by the clever twists woven throughout. The characters, unlike the usual dull NPCs, are crafted with such depth that one truly senses the personality behind each one.
Special shout-out goes to the lore. There's plenty of nods to Gothic 2, and some even made it into the remake. The dialogues are packed with details about the world too, if you take the time to listen.
Yeah, I agree. The story's pretty good. Each faction's got a solid reason for being the way they are. And don't forget the swamp weed. Important stuff, that.
And I won't even start on the characters. Old faces, all refreshed and proper detailed now. Really hits you in the nostalgia, doesn't it? Diego with that smug look of his. Gorn, looking like he can eat the troll. Milton, with his clumsiness and genius in magic. And of course, Lester, who is, Lester.
Well, I believe we find ourselves in unanimous agreement once more. The narrative and lore remain exceptional. Truly, a masterwork of grim conviction. Naturally, I hesitate to delve deeper for fear of spoiling the experience for prospective initiates into our shared misery. Also, we really didn't found any negatives on story and lore. Maybe, of course, nostalgia is playing, but it is 10 out of 10 from our side.
As a connoisseur of finer arts, rare indeed in this penal hellscape, I must acknowledge the musical score. It is genuinely exceptional. There are abundant callbacks to Gothic 2, Gothic 3 even, melodic threads that weave through the composition like ancestral memory. For veterans of the series, the nostalgia strikes with considerable force. One moment you are merely surviving, the next, some string arrangement conjures years of accumulated suffering, and you find yourself unexpectedly moved.
And a mighty important point is the voice acting. It's truly good, and by me beard, I didn't hear no repeating voices. You can truly feel the hard work and craft behind each voice, you can.
Die effect sounds no have problem, yes. Wind, water or enemy sounds very good. I especially like the magic sound. It make you feel when the fireballs start bursting. So special separate approval for developers who was responsible on this.
As there be no faults in the sound, let us proceed to the verdict. So, in my humble opinion, this game is truly extraordinary. Not only for those who cherish the old Gothic tales, but also for newcomers to the realm. I am most pleased that Mutana has breathed anew and may once again be revealed to the world.
In me opinion, an important point be that the battle in this game took the best from the old series and made it better. It ain't no dull Dark Souls formula fighting. So I'm right glad the developers listened to the fans. Aye, that part where the devs listen to the fans be amazing too.
Well, in my esteemed opinion, one cannot help but marvel at how extraordinarily beautiful this game truly is. The landscapes, the armor designs, they're simply flawless, as one would expect from something of such high caliber.
Don't forget to talk about all the big improvements in quests, lore, and even the simple progress. So many new talks got added. The developers really put their soul in this game, and you can feel it everywheres. 'Cause of that, this game be super immersing and hard to stop playing.
Well, there are certain matters that cause concern, such as the performance. It truly calls for improvement. The developers are already tending to this, yet we shall still place it upon the list, so all may be aware of potential troubles.
Oh, and one more thing. Last problem. Bugs. Many little bugs, crawling everywhere like tasty cave spiders. Economy goes funny, numbers not adding up. Merchant suddenly thinks bread is worth more than castle. And worst, sometimes enemy just won't die. But good news! Developers fix everything really fast.
Well, in summation, we find ourselves in harmonious accord once more. I recommend it not merely to devotees of the franchise, those already initiated into the colony's particular miseries, but broadly to all connoisseurs of the RPG form. It delivers atmosphere, consequence, and immersion in measure that modern design often neglects in favor of accessibility and hand-holding. For veterans, it is homecoming. For newcomers, it is discovery. For all, it is an experience worth undertaking, preferably on capable hardware, after a patch or two, with appropriate expectations regarding its uncompromising nature. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope your journey this week proves fruitful. See you in next world, and don't smoke too much swamp weed. Where you got this crap? It is not hitting.
I knew you lied about your plan. How could I have believed you?
I guess back to mine then.